champion, Kobe Bryant.
Bryant on the move with the jumper. He got it!
Well, he might be only 18 years and 5 months old, but this guy can do everything that the veterans can do and do it better, perhaps. Kobe Bryant.
Please welcome Kobe Bryant.
I love you guys. And Mamba out. It's a world tie. Don't the biscuit. Wow.
The end of an era in Miami.
The roar of the crowd, the squeak of sneakers, the swish of the net. These are the sounds that define the careers of NBA legends. For years, they've battled, bled, and built legacies that will echo through basketball history. But every legend, no matter how great, eventually faces their last dance, their final moments on the court. Some go out with a bang, others fade quietly, and for some, the finality doesn't sink in until it's all over. What goes through their minds when they step onto the court for the last time? What memories flood back? And how do they handle saying goodbye to the game that shaped their lives? Join us as we look back at the unforgettable final games of NBA legends. To start, we remember the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant. After 20 seasons, 5 championships, and countless iconic moments with the Los Angeles Lakers, the 2015-16 season was his farewell tour. While the Lakers struggled, all eyes were on Kobe. On April 13, 2016, in a packed Staples Center, Kobe delivered a performance for the ages, scoring an incredible 60 points against the Utah Jazz in his final game.
It's 53! Go!
Even Gordon Hayward of the Utah Jazz described the atmosphere as something straight out of a movie. In the final 3 minutes, it was vintage Kobe as he took over and secured the win. Hayward noted how even Kobe's teammates were desperately trying to get him the ball. Former Lakers head coach Byron Scott recalled his conversation with Kobe that night, where Kobe emphasized that he left everything on the floor and had no regrets. As the final buzzer sounded, Kobe took the mic, thanking the fans and his family, concluding with his famous words, "Mamba out."
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. God, I love you guys. And to my family, my wife Vanessa, our daughters Natalia and Gianna, thank you guys for all your sacrifice. What can I say? Mamba out.
Unlike Kobe's explosive exit, Dwyane Wade didn't need a 60-point night to make his farewell special. His presence alone was enough for the Miami Heat faithful. With 3 championships and numerous franchise records, Wade is cemented as the greatest Heat player ever. In his final home game, he gave Miami one last show, dropping 30 points against the Philadelphia 76ers.
3 again. What a party this is turning into.
Despite the emotion, Wade remained reflective. In his post-game interview, he recalled the moment he was drafted by Miami, expressing his immense thankfulness for the love and support he received. His number 3 jersey was later retired, forever hanging in the Heat rafters. Dwyane Wade left not just as a Heat icon, but as one of the game's all-time greats.
Dwyane Wade say goodbye to Miami with a win. Dwyane Wade and Jimmy Butler in a jersey exchange.
For Tim Duncan, the spotlight was never the goal. He was there to win, plain and simple. True to his character, when the 2015-16 season, one of the best in San Antonio Spurs history, became his last, no one knew. There were no announcements, no hints. Not even his teammates were aware that Game 6 of the Western Conference semifinals against the Oklahoma City Thunder would be his final NBA game.
Miller inside, Duncan finishes on a beautiful feed.
In typical Duncan fashion, he delivered a strong performance with 19 points. While it wasn't a flashy farewell, it was a statement of his enduring ability and competitive spirit. Duncan never played for moments. He played for winning. And so, his illustrious career ended not with a grand celebration, but with one last battle before he quietly walked off the court forever.
Perhaps for the final time of his illustrious career.
Paul Pierce, however, was never one for quiet exits. His career was full of dramatic moments, and his final game in Boston was no different. Playing for the Los Angeles Clippers at this point, his return to Boston would have been special enough. But the truth had one last piece of magic in store. With just 11 seconds left, he pulled up from 28 feet and buried one last three-pointer in TD Garden.
Oh, come on! An appropriate ending for Paul Pierce.
The crowd erupted, the shot almost secondary to the moment itself. Reflecting on his career, Pierce expressed his gratitude for the game, his journey from Inglewood, winning a championship, and inspiring young players. His final shot in Boston was an appropriate ending for a player who always delivered in clutch moments.
He couldn't have scripted it any better.
Not every legend gets a storybook ending. For Shaquille O'Neal, his final NBA game was quiet, almost non-existent. Playing for the Boston Celtics in the 2010-11 season, his last appearance lasted just over 3 minutes in a playoff loss to the Miami Heat. Injuries had taken their toll, and the dominant force that once shattered backboards was a shell of his former self.
Wade, he'll slither in. And he'll draw a foul.
While his final game lacked a memorable moment, Shaq's career left behind a legacy of dominance and unforgettable highlights. Even without a grand farewell on the court, his impact on the game is undeniable.
A three-peat for the world champion Los Angeles Lakers.
Michael Jordan's final game wasn't a championship, a buzzer beater, or even in a Bulls jersey. It was April 16th, 2003, with Jordan playing for the Washington Wizards, a team out of playoff contention. They lost by 20 points, and Jordan finished with 15. Yet as MJ walked off the court for the final time, the entire Philadelphia crowd rose to their feet, giving a roaring ovation to the man who changed the game forever.
Last Michael Jordan dunk ever, right there at the end of the half. He had 9 at the break on 4 of 11 shooting.
The Philadelphia 76ers even intentionally fouled Jordan to give him one last curtain call at the free throw line. Jordan acknowledged the Philly fans' support and stated that he had come to grips with his retirement, confirming this was his final retirement. And just like that, the greatest player of all time walked off the court for good.
MJ says goodbye. He's done.
By 1989, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was 42 years old, with 20 seasons and 6 championships under his belt. When he announced his retirement, the entire league ensured his farewell tour was legendary. Every city, every team, every arena honored him. His final regular season game on April 22nd, 1989 wasn't about stats or one last great performance. It was about the game paying its respects to a true icon.
7 on the shot clock. Here's Kareem. He's got another one. Into Kareem. Oh, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
As he walked off the court for the final time, Kareem had given everything to the game. His signature skyhook, an enduring legacy, and a career that would never be forgotten.
Here goes Kareem again with a long skyhook, and he's in 2 in a row. What's great about this?
Allen Iverson was the definition of relentless, playing with an unmatched edge and will to win. He was one of the most electrifying players in NBA history. However, as his career reached its end, Iverson realized the fire that once fueled him was gone. He admitted that in his last games, his mind was elsewhere.
Iguodala, Iverson, running, firing, scoring, and one.
For a player who built his career on giving everything, realizing he could no longer do so was the final sign. And with that realization, the answer had his answer, stepping away from the game. While his final games might not have been triumphant, his impact on the culture of basketball remains significant. Unlike some legends, David Robinson got to ride off into the sunset on top. After years of leading the San Antonio Spurs and establishing himself as an MVP and champion, Robinson announced his retirement before the 2002-03 season. The Spurs made sure his final game was one for the history books. In Game 6 of the NBA Finals against the New Jersey Nets on June 15th, 2003, Robinson stepped onto the court for the last time and walked away as a champion.
Robinson on a drive, reverse layup. David Robinson.
He put up a strong performance with 13 points and 17 rebounds, proving he was still a force even at the end. As he said after the game, he came in as a winner and left as a legend.
Where are you, David?
For nearly 2 decades, when the game was on the line, no one delivered like Reggie Miller. The trash talk, the deep threes, the clutch moments, Reggie was built for them. But one thing was missing from his legendary career: an NBA championship. On May 19th, 2005, his dream ended in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Detroit Pistons.
Reggie Miller finds the open spot. Three-pointer. Reggie Miller.
As the final seconds ticked down, Pistons head coach Larry Brown made a classy gesture. He called a timeout not for strategy, but to give Reggie the moment he deserved. The Indiana crowd rose to their feet, giving him a standing ovation that seemed to last forever. Reggie acknowledged the incredible support of the Pacers fans, calling Indiana his second home. While he never got his ring, in that moment, Reggie Miller was celebrated like a champion.
And Larry calls a timeout so he can bring his team to the other side of the court. The Reggie chant again at Conseco. That's a career.
From Kobe's explosive 60-point farewell to Tim Duncan's quiet exit and Reggie Miller's emotional standing ovation, the final games of NBA legends are as varied as their careers. Some leave with one last masterpiece, others step away knowing they've given everything to the game. But no matter how they go, their final game is never just another night. Because when a great steps off the court for the last time, it's not just the end of a career, it's the end of an era. Their legacies, however, will continue to inspire for generations to come.